Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the Game Junkie, coming at you one more time with another episode of Destiny Beta. And today, the day has finally arrived where I bring you the Devil's Lair. Now, I'm going to be bringing you a shortened version just to give you an idea of what enemies you will see, what bosses you will fight, and what you must do and able to overcome this level. So if this is exactly what you're looking for, and if you want to see more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, smash that like, comment down below, let me know what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see next, and I'll be sure to bring it to you. Here we go. Alright, so one of the common enemies in this level is actually these eyeball guys. As you can imagine, the exterior part of the eyeball guy can definitely take a lot more hits without taking so much damage, whereas if you actually get in the center, it definitely takes a bigger hit on them. They're not too much to worry about, although it does seem as though they provide a protective shield around other enemies in the near vicinity. Alright? Now, everybody in the Devil's Lair, as far as enemies are concerned, are going to be at level 8 or higher, which means if you try to take this level on at an earlier stage, like I try to do at level 5, be expected to die quite a bit. Luckily, I had two partners that were insane. They were both level 7s, were both very good at what they did. Definitely made up for both my lack of level and my lack of experience and talent, to where we were actually able to run through this level, I would say moderately easy. There was still quite a bit of dying, but it was mainly on my part. They definitely stole the show. Big kudos to them. I hope wherever they are that they're having a great time playing, because they did a great job. So in the next section of the level, we're going to be going into this giant abandoned warehouse looking area. And we're going to have to deploy our ghost in order to basically hack into their system and try to figure out what they're doing. And it has 3 different layers of protection which our ghost must hack into, which also interprets to 3 different waves of enemy. As you can hear them in the background, the enemy are definitely hooting and hollering. They're ready to go. The reason why we need to hack the system is if you saw those yellow lasers in the background off to the side, that's where we need to go.
Pretty complex. I'll need time.
The system is preventing us from going any farther because we need to kill all these guys. You end up with multiple captains as well as a bunch of foot soldiers that are just coming at you from all angles. They get harder and harder as the level goes on. There becomes more and more of them. I have to say, I probably died about 10 times on this level. Even though it says respawning restricted, you still are able to respawn. The only thing is your partners have to stay alive for at least 25 seconds if they don't come over and revive you. If they stay alive for 25 seconds, then you will actually go ahead and revive yourself. If they do, for some reason, choose to revive you, it takes them about 5 seconds. So if you end up dying out in the middle of the playing field, don't expect your partners to come revive you, because it would not be in their best interest. Because with them trying to play medic, it definitely puts them in a tough situation where they could definitely be picked off really easily. And these enemies that you're facing, it only takes them 2 or 3 shots and you're done. You're done for. Alright, so advancing on a little bit through this portion, we've already gotten 2 of 3 of the layers unraveled. This is our final wave of guys, just trying to push through it at this point. I believe at this point in the level we were already about 30 minutes into the raid, and it's definitely one of the more challenging things I've done in Destiny Beta. But with doing so, it also ended up increasing my ability to play, my ability to use different weapons, and I was definitely switching between my full auto and my semi-auto rifle. It definitely makes you think a little bit more outside the box, because normally I just run and gun, you know? I'm just trying to kill as many people as fast as I can because I'm only having to see them like 1 or 2 at a time, and they're usually around the same level or below my level. Whereas here, everybody is more powerful than you. There is no such thing as an easy enemy when it comes to the Devil's Lair. Alright, so now we are finishing up this portion of the level. All we got left is this little captain back here hiding behind his little obstacles and stuff. The next level we're going to be going to, I believe, is the level with the Devil Walker. So you will see that soon. There's a bunch of different foot enemies in this coming up level. But the Devil Walker is definitely who you want to pay attention to, because, oh my god, he's this giant enemy that I swear has like 1,000,000 lives. So hold tight, sit back, relax, enjoy the rest of this portion of the level, and I'll meet back with you when we get to the Devil Walker.
Barrier is down. We can move now.
Alright everybody, so we are finally here. If you see that giant Star Wars looking walker in the back there that I'm shooting at, that is actually the Devil Walker. He is a beast. So his main weakness I thought was going to be his red head, but it turns out there's these little yellow spots on his kneecaps, or where his kneecaps would be if he was, you know, a regular animal, and that is actually where you're wanting to shoot. That is what gives him the most damage, and yeah, he definitely wasn't anything easy. So now we're just clearing out the final last foot soldiers from this area. As you can see, I switched from the fully auto rifle to my semi-automatic rifle just because my semi-auto does a little bit more damage per shot. I was able to conserve ammo easier, and it was working better for me because I could also aim easier with it. So you definitely got to get a little creative when taking on, you know, the Devil's Lair, because otherwise you're gonna end up wasting a lot of ammo, a lot of time, and a lot of energy,
the Devil's Lair,
and frustrating your people a lot. All right, so this is actually the final stage of the Devil's Lair. My partners have been carrying me so far. It's time to hopefully repay them that favor and try to take on whatever big boss we are about to find next. So the actual big boss for the last stage turns out to be one of those eyeball guys, but giant. So imagine the metal eyeball guys that we were facing earlier on in the level, and blow them up to being huge and powerful and not able to be defeated easily, and that's what you got. Alright, so we're just going to take care of these guys real quick. That way they don't become a nuisance later when I try to figure out how it is to actually take out this this giant eyeball. Because, I mean, at first, it just shows him as being immune to all your hits. So, I was really confused. But it turns out it's just because he is attached to the docking station, or whatever you want to call it, basically pulling in all the energy that he needs or whatever. So until he actually detaches from that, you're not able to really do anything to hurt him. So advancing on through the level, finally getting a system down on how to actually hit this guy. Bouncing back and forth, trying to get him right where his pupil would be. And yeah, this guy took some time, a lot of bouncing back and forth. That's a big reason as to why I cut this down, because otherwise you guys would be watching an hour and a half. Basically, I was bouncing back and forth from one side of the wall to the other to try to keep ourselves alive while taking out the enemy. Alright, so now he's about halfway dead. And they keep sending, every time he gets, I guess, a percentage of his life taken away, they send more and more waves of the foot soldiers out to try to take us on. Yeah, definitely does not turn out for me well a lot of times because I am solely focused on the giant eyeball that I totally forget that there's, you know, a captain or a vandal, you know, right behind me. And I just get taken out. Alright, so now getting back to work on the eyeball. Hoping to do some kind of damage to him, although it's not looking too pretty right now. Eyeball is sending out, you know, shanks, vandals, and freaking captains left and right, trying to flood us with, you know, all these smaller enemies to where we no longer, you know, focus on him. Alright, got a whole bunch of shanks over here. Give him a little bit of a taste of my grenade, trying to get him blinded so I can take care of him really quick. You know, at first I wasn't a big fan of my semi-auto rifle, but once I got to use it more and more, I started falling in love with it more and more. These guys were kind of funny because they popped into the room, and then like immediately after I shot them, they didn't even do anything. They just quietly left the room like it was no big deal. It was weird. Alright, so now the giant eyeball guy is down to about 20% life. Hopefully we can take him out pretty quickly here. Alright, got some vandals in my face. Trying to punch him back onto the eyeball though. Definitely gotta get this guy taken care of. He is so close, yet so far away. There he is. And then there came a certain point where I didn't even care if I was even hitting people anymore. I just wanted to do damage to them, so I was staying primarily hidden behind the wall. And he is destroyed.
Well done.
Sepix Prime cast a great shadow over our city. With its destruction, the fallen devils will grow weaker. But we must stay vigilant. The fallen are crafty, and they'll find ways to survive. They always do.
Alright, so that is the end of the level. Mission complete. Great job, everybody. Could not have done it without y'all's support. As always, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe below. Make sure to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. And as always, until next time, y'all come back now, you hear?